All right. We live? All right. I think we live. Okay. We back. All right. We finally, Jesus Christ, technology can be a bitch. Sorry. What is good, guys? Marvin and Kid here back again. How's everybody doing? Let me get my seat up a little bit. Chair up. There you go. Up, 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 up. Damn it. There you go. Aha. There we go. How is everybody doing? How is the pack doing? Welcome to Open Mic Night, the last finale Q&A for the month of September. September is coming to an end soon, and I'm here to answer your questions, but there will be a little bit something different here, guys. If you read the description down below, guys, I'm also going to do something a little differently here on here tonight. I'm going to answer your questions, but I'm also going to give a little insight into me in terms of what I watch on YouTube. Like, who are the YouTubers that I watch? Like, so I'm going to give you about like 20 of them, 20 YouTubers that I watch that I'm a die. Whenever a video comes up, I'm watching them or I watch them over and over and things like that. So I'm going to do that as well. But yeah, guys, I'm here to answer your questions. I'm here to just answer your questions. It is exactly it is what time is it? It is 8:54. This was supposed to start 30 minutes ago, 30 at 8:30. I apologize. I was having technical difficulties. My camera wasn't working, so I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on with the camera? So I had to get it go. So how is everybody doing? That's fine. That's good. For everybody who can't make it, because there was a couple of people that said they won't make it, that's fine. Watch the replay and then leave your comments in the section down below, or even leave your questions in the comment section down below when it goes up, and I'll answer them there. That's fair. I hope you do that. But with that being said, guys, it is Tuesday, September 27, 2022. And we are here to answer your questions pretty much. And if you don't mind, let's get started. And like I said before, guys, all those who are coming in, there's going to be a little something different here on the Q&A. And why is my light is a little bit different? Hold on. There we go. There we go. All right. Now, there's going to be something a little different. I'm going to give you guys a little insight into what your alpha watches on YouTube, who are his YouTubers that he watches, and things like that. And I'll even explain why I watch them. It's like, it's not just going to be, oh, I just watch this person, that's it. No, I'm going to give you an explanation of why. But I am going to answer your questions. So yeah, hey Kuba, how you doing? I see people there. What's up, Brandon, the groovy nerd? If he was here. So yeah, I'm gonna answer these questions very much. This should be a lot of fun to do, and like I said, I'm ready to answer your questions. So let's go back up. Okay, let's see who's in the chat right now. Okay. Hello, everybody. Bad shit. Oh. All right, bro. Okay. So I'm gonna answer 5 questions each, every four question I answer, I'll give you a YouTuber I watch and like, and it'd be really cool, guys, if you check them out yourself and you can understand why. You know, don't just listen, understand why I watched them. So the first question comes from Perry King. Would you be down for Max Payne 4 if it ever get made? Yeah, I'd be down for it. Um, I'd be down for it. I'm not sure what more you can tell with his story, but yeah, I'll be down. Um, I'll be down for it. Have you went back and played any old games as of lately? Well, yeah, you can kind of say that. I have the Ninja Turtles collection, and those are all old Ninja Turtles games, so I'm playing those. So yeah, even the Ninja Turtle games that came out for the NES and all that stuff. So yeah. Um, are you excited for the Assassin's Creed Mirage next year? Yes, but I'm more excited for Assassin's Creed Ronin. I think that a red one or whatever, the one that's going to be in feudal Japan, because I've been waiting for an Assassin's Creed based in Japan for a long time. So finally, we're getting it, and I'm more interested. I'm also interested in this Assassin's Creed that seems to be going with a horror theme. They showed an image in it and it looked like it was a wooded area and almost like they're going to be witches involved. I'm like, okay, I'm up for that too. But yeah, I'm all for I'm all for the Mirage. Uh, hold on. Let me see. Yeah. So yes, I am. I'm very I'm very cool about it, and I love the fact that they got a very famous voice actress in that in Mirage to play the main characters like Mentor and Sharir Agagas Sulo. She's gonna play. If you probably recognize her voice if you heard it. If anybody's ever played Mass Effect, the woman, you'll hear her voice when she who voices Auntie Ron, who plays Tally's aunt. That is who's voicing the character in there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. So yeah. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Quentin? William, hey Chris, what is your opinion on the new writer of the MCU? Um, uh, the new writer or the new director? Uh, the new director, the new writer of MCU Fantastic Four. Who is it again? I can't remember. Uh, uh, let's see. Hold on. I can't remember who they said was writing it. So, oh, Jeff Comber and Ian Springer. Oh, okay. I'm not. What did they do? What did they write? Because if I as a movie I've seen them write. Isn't he a video game writer though? He's a video game designer. Oh, he does. Whoa, he's the former leader of Overwatch. Okay. So, yeah, not bad. I'll check it out. So that's four questions. Okay, so um, one thing that about me, guys, like in terms of like YouTube, like when I'm on YouTube, who do I watch? That's the main question. Like, who do I watch? What YouTubers am I watching? What are they, big time YouTubers, or are they, small time YouTubers and things like that? And honestly, it's a mixture of both. It's a mixture. Some are small, some are, you know, some are small, some are big. Most of the time, the YouTubers I watch are, like I said, small time, but and some are big. So I think I'll start with the first person who I look at very much, and that is, and I will show you the page and everything, so nobody can. So one person that I look at, of course, is Dashi. I'll look at all his channels, but Dashi is definitely one of my favorite YouTubers that I watch. I love Dashi. That's a guy that I would love to meet. I love to meet. Um, he started with just skits, and then but his video game channel blew up more than his skits. His skits are funny too. I have a collection of just his funny vids as a playlist. A playlist of just funny vids of all his vids, and I watch them over and over. Usually on like Thursdays, it's just a Dashi night, and I'll just watch because he always can make me laugh, and it makes me laugh and things like that. It's never a case where I'm just like, okay, that wasn't funny or something like that. Dashi will always get me laughing. I'm straight up real about that. Dashi will always get me laugh. And like I said, he does well for himself, but he's just a good dude, and I just love him. He's just fun. He's just really fun to be around. Let's see. Next, who's next? Okay, next question. Have you reacted or given thoughts on the Tekken 8? Who should be on the roster? I've seen the trailer and it looks good, and it should continue where the seven left off. That's pretty much what it is. Continuing where seven left off. It's now down to two. Mushiba is down to two. The father is now is bound to the next father and son. First, it was father and son there with Kazuya and Hiachi. Hiachi is finally dead. If Hiachi comes back, I'm gonna be pissed. I'll be pissed if he comes back. But he's dead. He's dead now, and now it's down to Jin. And if you watched Tekken 7, the story mode, you saw it. Basically said now it's down to me and him. So it will be only one now, technically, to carry the Devil Gene, and from there. Looks good. I'm not surprised that it's only coming out for PlayStation 5. That's fine. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it very much. Most of that stuff, like video game stuff, you would find on my video game channel. So go subscribe to there. I'm gonna be returning back to putting up videos on there. So you won't really see a lot of that stuff over here sometimes. What got one of my we have Solomon the Hooded, who is also one of my people that keep the chats from going crazy. He'll delete people, or if you're asking stupid questions, he deletes it. Are you going to watch Halloween Ends? Yes, I might as well. Uh, I'm going to. I watched Kills. I didn't like Kills. I like Halloween 8 2018. I really like that requel. Um, but I didn't like Kills. But I'm hopefully this ends is good. It gets, basically it takes place. It's gonna be a time jump. It's gonna take place 4 years after Kills. I saw the last trailer today, and I was glad they haven't really spoiled a lot. But yeah, I still feel that Lori. I have a strong feeling Lori may die, but she and Michael will die together. But I also like the fact that it seems like, yeah, Lori has come to the realization that she has never been Michael's, like, it was never Michael never looked at her as being special. It was just, and I find that fine, because I thought it was stupid that when they did it in the original run, they said that Lori and Michael were siblings. I hated that reveal. I know Carpenter hated that reveal, and so I'm glad that they kind of finished that, and did this new timeline, and this new trilogy is fine. I'm gonna watch it, because after that, I know for a fact the same people, Blumhouse and all of them, are gonna do a requel of The Exorcist. So, if you never watched The Exorcist, don't talk to me. I mean that. I'm dead serious about that. So yeah. Your next question, Solomon, is do I think Black Adam is going to do well at the box office? I'm looking at what's coming out in October right now. What movies are coming out? A lot of horror movies are coming out, but I have a feeling, uh, it's going to do pretty well. Yes, you could say, well, it's The Rock. People, and yeah, I do love The Rock. I have this humongous man crush on the guy. Um, and it's not sexual, so get that out of your heads. But yeah, I've been following The Rock since he was just doing wrestling. I've been with that man since he was just the professional wrestler, The Rock. You know, been with him since he was called Rocky Maivia. So I've seen the ups and downs and everything, and him becoming this mega star. But I hear a lot of people saying, I can't really take this movie seriously because I can't take Rock seriously as a villain, and he's more of an anti-hero. Teth Adam has always been. There's been times he's been a villain, but I am interested in seeing how they play this out and who the overarching villain is going to be. But more importantly, Solomon, you know me, bro. It's all about the JSA for me. We get in the JSA, so, and I think Pierce Brosnan is going to kill it as Dr. Fate. So I'm really looking forward to that. In my opinion, indeed. Let's see. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So who is another YouTuber that I watch that I really love? And another YouTuber that I really love to watch, um, because I think he's great, and I think he's it's just talent, in my opinion. Um, Corey Kenshin. You talk about a guy who started from the bottom, made his way up to the top. He's another YouTuber gamer that I love. I mean, the dude's got over 14.5 million subs. He did that all by himself, and I respect the dude for what he did. Um, I respect how he has crafted himself. He's from Detroit. Corey's another one I would love to meet. I mean, the dude does make a wish stuff, and I'm not dying or anything like that. But I respect Corey a lot, and he had recently come out, and kind of he kind of said his piece on certain things that go on, and in the scope of YouTube, like his videos, or this is happening with his videos, and then he's another YouTuber, like say Markiplier, does the same video, and his video gets like you know copyrighted claim or something like that, and I respect him for doing that. He didn't want to do that, and he didn't want to play the race card, but I respected him for doing that. I was like, I get it. But I love when him and Dashi get together and they play games together. It's so fun. But Corey's just as great, as Dashi. I respect the dude a lot. Indeed. So, and it is, and once again, it is this man right here why I do Shotgun Saturday Fright. It's in honor and respect to him, because if you see right here, he does, it's in honor of his series called well, you can't really see it here, but you kind of see it right here. It's called Spooky Scary Sunday, which he does, and that's where he. So when I thought he was leaving, he was retiring from YouTube. I thought I'd continue, but he's not. So that's glad. But I still do Shotgun Saturday. I got some new gems coming for Shotgun Saturday Fright. Yeah, indeed. Okay. Your next question, Solomon, is what do you think about requels? Speaking of requels, and what movie would you do a requel on or reboot on? I do prefer requels, starting to really prefer requels now than just rebooting the franchise. Sorry. Just rebooting the franchise. I feel like reboots should only be done if it's been a while since this movie's been out. But there are just some movies I don't want to see a um a reboot of. And and if you do want to, you can go to hell with that one. Get out my, I'm just saying. Um, but I do like requels. Reboots, it depends on the movie. A requel that I thought that we're getting, like I said, we're getting the Exorcist. And like I said, if you've never seen the original Exorcist, then you gotta watch those. Um, we did, me and Mr. Malty, I was on his he did a video with him on Patreon. Um, and we did a discussion about a requel, and it was the Poltergeist. And I really had a fun time, doing that on a podcast with him. It was really fun to do that, and we were talking about how could we do a requel to the Poltergeist and what would come of the family right after that, after they were left the house and was in the and they were in the they went to the hotel. What happens next? So we kind of went from there. It was really fun. Um, a reboot or a remake, I wouldn't mind in terms of horror. Um, I said before, Bloody Birthday, My Bloody Birthday. It's an old school. It's an old 80s horror slasher. Whereas it's about a group of kids um, who were all born in the same day during an eclipse, and these three kids are killers. They kill, and there's three of them, and they just go around killing people, and everybody in the town thinks they are angels and everything, like, but they're really just demons in disguise. And it's just like, they'll kill you. I mean, it was brutal. If you go watch that movie, it's like, Jesus Christ. Even one of the kids even killed her own father, killed her own sister, killed her father, told her daddy, who was the sheriff. She was like, Daddy, she's like, come here, look at this. And he was coming down the stairs, and she's just standing there smiling at him. And all of a sudden, when he picked up like her jump rope, and the third kid came around with a bat, just bam, just cracked him over the head. And basically she played it off, and she's like, Mommy, Daddy fell on the stairs. And I'm like, it's crazy. So I can see that. Another remake. You ever seen the movie? If all y'all ever seen the movie The Entity? That's a scary movie, but it's sick and twisted as well. But I can see a remake of that. Um, Maybe I should save the requels, because maybe, see, now, Solomon, you giving me an idea. Maybe I'll do a video on that. Maybe I'll do it. So I'm not going to give any more, but yeah, those are two. Okay. Next up on the list, we have Brandon the Groovy Nerd. What is good, my dude? He says, I saw an article, Chris, that said hold on. Damn, okay. I saw an article, Chris, that said victims of Jeffrey Dahmer. Oh my God, Jeffrey Dahmer. He is a known serial killer. Um, don't want to see don't want to see and revisit the movie. Revisit. There's a movie coming out or a TV series that's coming out on Netflix. My question is, do you feel that they have a say in the situation? Do you agree with them? Do you agree that they shouldn't have advertised the murder of the relative victims in these? Uh, I I think I heard something about this. I saw an article. I think if I seen this kind, yeah, there is a um, Jeffrey Dahmer show coming out or a series coming out on Netflix. I believe the actor who's playing Jeffrey Dahmer is the actor who played Quicksilver. I think he's playing. I can't remember his name right now, but yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer was a monster. He killed over 100 people, men, women, children, and I think he went into cannibalism. He killed over the course of from 1978 to 1991. He was when he later in the 90s he got captured. He was sent to jail, I think 94, and he died in 94 or early 90s, but he died in 94 because one of the inmates in the jail killed him. Yeah, I research and study a lot of serial killers. I don't know why. It's just because to me it's like what is going through your head, like, and this is where it comes down to. I feel that there are real such things as monsters. There are monsters and demons, and like I said, but I do agree. Sometimes you don't want to advertise that, and sometimes yeah, they're not. These studios are not going to get permission from victims, the victims of the family that maybe these killers killed. I mean, did they do that for Monster, Charlize Theron, for for Eileen? Did they do that for any movie that was based around Ted Bundy? Did they do that for any of the ancestors or of the victims of Jack the Ripper or Charles Manson? The one thing I always say about when I look at these serial killers, go and I you know what? Matter of fact, I'm asking you guys right now, go Google Ted Bundy and Charles Manson. Look in these guys' eyes, pure evil. Do that for me right now. Go check that out. Go look at that. Look at their eyes and tell me right now you don't see nothing but pure evil in their eyes. I would appreciate if y'all do that right now for me. And then come back and say, oh yeah, or whatever. Reply to me on that one. So yeah, I definitely. Definitely. But yeah, I do agree. I do feel for the families of these serial killers who killed their family members. I do feel for them. They don't want to revisit that. Same thing. Like I watched a documentary on John Wayne Gacy, who probably a lot of people don't know, but he was basically the clown killer. He dressed up as a clown like Bobo the clown and Pacho, the clown, and he would go to kids' parties. He would kidnap, bring them kids back to his house, and he'd rape them and murder them and dump them his under his house. And the story wasn't about him; it was about his sister, what she has to go through, just knowing that that was her brother. I also feel for family members who have to deal with that. I'm like, man, I wonder what their family have to deal like I don't know if Ted Bundy has any living relatives. What do they have to deal? How do they go about that? How do people, Charles Manson, how do they feel about it? Like stuff like that? I'm like, that stuff is crazy. So yeah, I do, but I appreciate that question, Brandon. That's very good. I really appreciate that. But yeah, I do. Your next question is who is your favorite GI Joe and why? That's easy. Snake Eyes. Why? I'm a ninja nut. I'm a ninja fanatic. I'm a ninja samurai fanatic. But it's just something about depending on whose origin you read, but mostly they're all coming from the great Larry Hanma. But I love, the mystery of Snake Eyes. He doesn't talk. There's all these different. There's one part that says he took a vow of silence when his sensei was killed, or then they also do he was in an accident and his vocal cords are just complete. So everything is this and hand signals. But Snake Eyes is just a man. Like, he is probably the most recognized GI Joe member ever. And you're looking at me, somebody who grew up with GI Joe. So I know all of them, but Snake Eyes is always that guy. Him and Timber. You see more Snake Eyes memorabilia in terms of GI Joe than any other Joe. You can believe that. So yeah, Joe. That was two questions. Next question comes from Solomon again. Thoughts on Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine in Deadpool 3? I just read this, and it's I don't know how true it is, but if it is true that he's coming back for Deadpool 3, because you know you know Ryan Reynolds said he, announced it that he is. I'm like, whoa, wow. Uh, I don't know. I'm a little speechless. Uh, I thought Mr. Jackman was done with the role. And does he need to return? No, he doesn't. He's done his part. He did that role for what, 17 plus years? Let it. I mean, but it is what it is. I'm fine with that. And Ryan Reynolds, shouts out to Ryan Reynolds and his wife Blake. I know they're expecting their fourth child, so congratulations to y'all. And y'all not gonna see it, but I always congratulate. But yeah, it is what it is, Solomon. I think I'll see what it is. So how many questions? That was three. Yeah, that's three. Next question, William again. Thoughts on Keanu Reeves wanting to play Batman and John Constantine? Well, the fact is, he is coming back as Constantine. Yeah, they are doing another Constantine, a sequel. He did play Batman in the Super Pets. I think that's fine, but it's cool. I like Keanu Reeves. Cool breeze. That's what his name means. Uh, Next question. Let me hold on. Let me pop up the. There we go. That's better. Let me see. All right. Next question comes from a Comic Freak X. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Thoughts on the Werewolf by Night special being rated TV 14? I'm all for it. Yeah, it was announced that it's going to be TV 14. I'm fine with it. I said it before, and I said it depends on the character. And this is where I want to just tell people that these so-called Marvel fans that like, oh, everything is kiddie and funny and jokey, with Marvel, they never be serious. And I'm like, what are you watching then? There've been a couple of movies series as of late that was serious, straight up serious and nitty gritty. And Werewolf by Night is one of those characters that I'm fine with. Yes, and I'm hearing also what I'm hearing is the special is going to be all done in black and white, like those classic Universal monster movies. I respect that. And yes, I saw Man Thing. Man Thing is in the movie, in the show. I'm like, yes, so I'm cool with it. Cool with it indeed. And cool. William X is again. No. Yeah, William. Thoughts on financial problems with Warner Brothers and DC. I heard that there has been $1 billion lost in only 1 year in remove. I talked about this before. This to me comes from just the sheer stupidity of a lot of the stuff they're doing, and they better get their act together. Yeah, because they're just being stupid, just being completely stupid with just sheer stupid nonsense. And I'm not even joking with that. They're just being stupid. Um, it is. It's just they're just so stupid about every little detail, and it ain't gonna do them no good if they don't get their act together. Straight real. That's real talk right there. I'm not even joking about that. That's real talk. Um, Real talk. I said that twice. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, how many questions was that? I think I get. Yeah. Okay. So another YouTuber that I watch that I love, uh, that I'm a big fan of, and I thought I'd bring this up is is hold on, let me get it right here. Here we go. And that is Dead Meat. This is, if you are a horror fan, you like horror movies and you like recaps of horror movies, Dead Meat is one of the guys to go. Jane Janice, great. Him and his wife, they're cool. They do a podcast and they do kill counts. They tally up the votes of all your favorite horror movies. So he tallies up the kills in horror movies. And but as of late, he's been having some issues because every time he uploads, YouTube want to act stupid and copyright a lot of his videos. And I'm like, oh, come on, stop with this crap. But yeah, the latest stuff he's been recounting, he's been doing recounts is a lot of the Chucky series. Like the last one he just did was the Curse of Chucky. But he's also done he just recently did the Wolfman. He did both the classic and the remake from 2010. So yeah, I mean, I love them. They're just fun, good people, just good people. Exactly like he says, be good people. He's good people. James J. Janice, yeah. He's a horror fan, and I can respect that. Definitely respect that. Let's look at some more questions. So what else we have here? Comic Freak X. Thoughts on James Earl Jones retiring from Darth Vader? Tip my hat. You know, James Earl Jones is he's getting up there in age, and it's not just that he's getting up there in age. You know, nobody will ever uh, deny that Vader is James Earl Jones. I don't care what anybody says. Before, and I'll say this straight up real. Before he removed that helmet and we saw that old bald white guy, James Earl Jones is black. James Earl Jones, Darth Vader was black. He was many people who heard that voice were like, that's James Earl Jones. Darth Vader's black. Okay, cool. He was black. And it bothers me every time now when you see these dumb, idiot so-called fans who basically plague the franchise and hurt the fandom when they plague and they want to rant on stop casting actors of color in these Star Wars movies or anything else. And it's just like, Hey, morons! Do you remember who was Vader? Hmm? Hmm? Do you? It's like it's stuff like that just bothers me. It's like these idiots forget who voiced Vader. Who's Vader? But what's going to be cool about this, they're going to use some special technology whenever they need to use them. I think it's coming from out of the Ukraine, where it's going to basically synthesize his voice, and they can be able to basically type in, and it'll be his voice. It'll be Mr. Jones's voice, still adding new lines and stuff. That's pretty cool. I'm like, even though he's gonna retire, we don't. It's basically saying, yeah, James Earl Jones. They respect James Earl Jones. They respect the man's voice. They respect his legacy as that character. So yeah, I respect that. But I still tip my hat to the man. The man's a legend. Legends never die. Hey Chris, how you been? I've been good, Andre, and yourself. Quentin, will you link? Will you will what will link? What will Link think of? What would Link think of Spawn? Uh, Depends on what he doing there, but yeah, pretty much. Like I said, who was the best Dracula, Bela Lugosi or Christopher Lee? Uh, Bela Lugosi. There are more people, more when they do Dracula. Christopher Lee was great, don't get me wrong, but when they do Dracula, they don't. Who do they mimic in terms of Dracula's voice? They always mimic Bela Lugosi. I am called Dracula, Dracula. They don't. They talk with like he's Romanian and or from the east, east, East Romanian or East. They don't do Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee had a very strong accent too. Is great, but yeah, they do more. It's more Bela Lugosi. Gotta go with Bela. Gotta go with the classic, man. Have you tried or played Metal Hellsinger game yet? No, I don't know what that is, and I never played it. So Andre, so what? Oh, wait, hold on. Oops. Uh, I'll give another one in a little bit. Don't worry, guys. I'll do another one. So let me answer some more questions. So what do you think about the current DC event, Dark Crisis on Infinite? I'm not reading it yet. I'm not gonna read it until it comes out in trade. So no, I'm not reading it. Nothing. I'm not. I don't read most DC books that I read now. I read when they come out on trade. I don't read them in single issues. The only DC comics that I read in single issues is World's Finest and Nightwing. Everything else I read in trade. Any other character I read in trade. I don't read anything else. I've really cut back on my DC in terms of single issues. I just read them in trade now. Are you watching Star Wars Andor series yet? No, I'm not watching it. I pick and choose what series to watch in terms of Star Wars. I don't watch everything. Mandalorian, I can't wait, but no. So Chris, do you got any good reading recommendation for me into pulp era heroes like Shadow? Because I've always heard about the character, but never read a lot of stories about him. If you want to read good Shadow stories or Phantom stories and things like that, Shadow, look into Dynamite Comics. Dynamite has the Shadow locked. There's some good Shadow stories in there. That's where you go read. I can't really just go. You'll find it. There's just anything from Dynamite. Shadow knows. Okay, let's see. Here's another. Um, so if you want a YouTuber that will another YouTuber I watch is another YouTuber I watch that I love to watch is oh shoot, hold on. Is Dr. Mike. He's a real doctor and he has a YouTube channel. There's a couple of doctors on YouTube that I watch. Dr. Mike is one of them. Dr. Ed Hope I watch. Dr. Who's the other doctor I watch? I forget his name, but uh I like watching guys like Dr. Mike and all the other doctors, Dr. Ed Hope and all of them, because they're looking at it also from a they're looking at, they're reacting to, shows like medical dramas and all kinds of stuff like that, and they give us their real input on it. And I love hearing from Dr. Mike about, even though he does put a lot of comedy into it, but it's really fun to watch what he thinks about it. Even Dr. Wagner, that's his name, Dr. Wagner. Uh, there you go. There's another YouTuber. He's called His channel is called Dr. ER. He's a certified ER doctor, and he he's kind of crazy about like his like just seeing all the limbs. Like he reacts to like when Mortal Kombat does all the fatalities and stuff, and he's like, "Oh yeah," like you can see the brain frag. He's funny about it too, and he's got a hot wife too. I'm like, it's hot. His wife is hot, but um, I love him too. And I remember most of them I found through watching like Gameology, and they do like expert react. And so I watch the experts react, and I love that stuff too. Those Gameology's expert reacts, I love that when they get like an expert and they check out a video game, whether it's martial artists, they'll look at all martial art games like fighting games and things like that. There's like Chris the Cop, who's a real cop, and he will review and give his thoughts on cop situations. There's also they have real soldiers come in and react to all the Call of Duty games or all the military games, like in terms of like how are they stacking up, talking about, yeah, you never have your rifle pointed at the back of your partner, everything like that. I love that stuff. And I even follow some of those the soldiers, because a lot of those people that were on Gameology now have their own channel. So there's a couple of soldiers called that were on it. They're called Israel Wright and Norm Flater, and they have a channel called Shift Fire, and they do all kinds of crazy stuff on there about it's kind of blended into military. So you'll see them eating different countries like MREs or reviewing like packs and all kinds of stuff. It's really cool. Look out for those. Those are certain people like that. I do watch those stuff. So those are really good. I really like watching, those people because it's really fun. It's just a fun series to watch them. Um, so yeah, check those out. I'll give you another one that I watch, uh, who is a lot of fun. Well, it's not even that they're fun. It's more on the case of uh, it's more on the case of fight scenes. And the channel that I'm talking about is Scenic Fights. This is another good channel. I'd recommend this to people to watch. You want to celebrate, all martial arts from movies and everything. You got Chad Vasquez and all these guys. I think Chad. Yeah, Chad. Uh, you got you got just a great partnership. Um, three guys now because there's three of them, and they basically celebrate and they do their scenes like they break down fights and they break down. One of them is really skilled at kali and knife wielding. The other one is good at hand-to-hand combat. Two of them, both of them. So it's really good. I love that stuff too. I love that. The latest video they did was they broke down a fight from what did they break down a fight? Chad Vasquez, yeah, he broke down a fight from uh Arcania from League of Legends. They broke down a fight from there, which is cool. So yeah, they do a lot. It's really fun. A lot of those, if you hear, go back if you know those guys. Everything I just mentioned, guys, I recommend these channels. They're really fun. These are the channels I watch on almost religiously on YouTube. I'm not just browsing on YouTube. I know who I'm going to see. So yeah. Let's see. What is another question? Oh, what was it like growing up in the 80s and 90s? As a child of the 80s, it was fun. It was, to me, I've always looked at the 80s as being the best time to grow up as a kid. You had everything you wanted as a kid growing up in terms of especially cartoons and things like that. Like it was a dime a dozen. 90s kids had that too. It was still great stuff in the 90s. I mean, and just seeing how it builded up from where it was into it end. I if I had a time machine, I'd go back to the 80s real quick, just to reminisce, or the 90s. And in some cases, I've always felt like kids of this generation and early 2000 kids who were born in 2000s, they don't understand what it was like growing up in those eras. They see people like me talk about it and they're just like, they don't really get it. They don't really understand it. Like, I'm a child of the 80s. My youngest brother Malcolm was born in 1993. So he saw a lot of stuff, but he also had an older brother who grew up in the 80s and stuff like that, and it was very much you can kind of say a sponge of like culture from pop culture from the 80s, even the 70s. You know it it's very interesting. It's very interesting, Perry. It was very interesting. I always tell, we child of the 80s and 90s. We had it good. We had it good. I do miss those times. I miss the days of getting up Saturday morning, getting a big bowl, pouring your cereal in there, and sitting in front of the TV from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the afternoon, and all you're doing is watching Saturday morning cartoons. They don't do that anymore. It's like that bothers me. That really does bother me. Real David, Chris, in Batman: The Killing Joke, do you think Joker took it too far when he raped Barbara? Yeah, there's a lot of people say he didn't. I tend to believe he did rape her. I think, yeah, I've always said he went too far. You know, um, Joker. That was, to me, that was just something that I just was like, well, wow, you're really going there with that. Like, you know, shooting Barbara, paralyzing her was one thing, but basically stripping her and everything like that. I mean, there's rumors, like there's a lot of people debate, did he rape her? Did he rape her or not? And I've always been one to believe, yeah, he did rape her, and guys, if you know me, you don't know how I feel about rape. So I don't chill with that. All right. I'll give you some more people on YouTube that I follow in a little bit. So if you're liking that, guys, please tell me, because I can recommend a lot of YouTubers, you know, creative YouTubers and everything like that you would like. Your next question is, Chris, I wanted to see you react to more 911 calls because it seemed like you genuinely cared about what was happening. No, I'm not doing those no more. Those are too emotional for me. Um, and the only way I'll do one of those is if somebody on my Patreon's requested, because I'm not doing it myself. I'm not doing 911 calls anymore. Not doing those no more. Those are too heartbreaking and too emotional for me, because I am very emotional. I don't like seeing that, especially when it involves kids and elderly people. I'm like, I don't want to hear that, because then I'm start thinking of, like, I remember watching one, and this guy broke into this elderly woman's house and killed her. I was just like, what the fuck? And I was just thinking of my grandparents. I'm like, man, like, come on, man, like stuff like that. Or there was one with this little girl. She had called the police, and the 911 dispatcher she tried to keep her on her. And those people too. I respect those people too. Like, and this little girl was young, and she's calling saying like, my daddy's hitting my mom, and she just pushed my baby sister down. And I'm like, and it just broke my heart, man. I can't deal with that. Like, no way. I'm not doing those no more. Sean Franklin, what up? Yo, you excited for Black Adam? I talked about Black Adam. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I'm more excited because it's the JSA. One of my favorite teams in comics. So yeah, JSA. So Chris, which of the newer DC heroes are you more interested in? Newer DC heroes. Mm, I don't know. I, I would say maybe the Monkey Prince. I like him. I like that. What do you do? What do of the World War Hulk movie coming out? What do you mean? Wait, what? Well, what did you? What do of the what? I'm flabbergasted now. I don't even know what I'm just saying. What do of the World War Hulk movie coming out? There's no World War Hulk movie coming out as of right now. Um, there's no World War Hulk movie. Their Planet Hulk. They're doing a Planet Hulk sequel in the comics, which I'm looking forward to. Greg Pak's coming back to write it. That's great. But there's no World War Hulk movie coming out. Nothing coming out yet. There could be teasing of, if you've been watching She-Hulk, there's maybe teases of something, but nah. Uh, Goku versus Taz in a hot dog eating contest. Uh, Goku. The Saiyajins can put that food away. It's ridiculous. Supergirl. Here we go with the fights. Can I go one Q&A without versus matches? It's just funny. It always cracks me up. We were doing so well without versus match. Supergirl, uh, Supergirl. What do you think about? What do you think? Do you think the Matrix TV series? What? There's a Matrix TV series coming out. I'm. Y'all got to learn how to write better. I'm confused. Come on, man. Um, do you go back and watch movies for their anniversaries? Yes, and I watch movies just because I feel like watching them. There are certain movies whenever they're on, I will sit down and watch. Prime example of that is Back to the Future. If I see it on, if I don't watch it from my collection, if I see it on cable or anything else, or Paramount, because Paramount loves to play it a lot. But if I see it on cable, I'm gonna sit down and watch it. I see Winter Soldier on, sitting down and watching. Me and my brother just had this conversation. We had this conversation not too long ago. We were talking about like movies that we will sit down, no matter how many times, no matter what, we'll sit down and watch it. And I got plenty of them. But yeah, Malcolm used to have a tradition like every Independence Day, he would watch ID Independence Day. Um, but so yeah, I do whenever I can, whenever there's an anniversary, or if not, I watch it. But if not, it's just I just love movies, so I watch it. Let's see. Give you some more YouTubers. I'll give you a couple more guys, and then that'll be it. All right. So let's see. Who else do I recommend for you guys? Um. So I gave you Dr. Hope. I gave you Dr. Mike, Dr. E. I gave you all them. Uh. Oh yes. Okay. I know which one to give you. Where is it? I'll give you another one. Uh, Kabir Considers. This is one of my favorite YouTubers from the UK. Kabir is a really good dude. He reacts to a lot of things, and he says, "Hi guys, welcome back to Kabir Considers. This is a place where I react to movies, anime, manga, anything pop culture. I give it an open mind and when I'm open to it, and things like that. He's really cool. He's just a really good dude, good brother, and a lot of things he reacts to are just so fun. He's one of the many UK people from the UK that I love in terms of just fun. He does a lot of stuff. And he even reacts to a lot of movies he never saw. Last thing I saw him react to in terms of a movie is one of my favorite war movies, Full Metal Jacket, and I was just blown away by his reaction to it, and I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna get." I was telling he was watching it, and he was just like, it was just still in the boot camp in the Marine Corps, and I remember writing to him after, I writing to him on the comment section after it was finished. I said, "Kabir, you should have been looking at Pyle, Vincent D'Onofrio's character. You just saw the change in that character, how he went from this to then just became his mind just snapped, and he blew his brains out afterwards. Yeah, my dad who was in the military used to always tell me military is more mental than physical, and basic training is definitely to is mentally picking out those that looking for the weak, and he was right. He's right about that. So but yeah, he reacted to that. Kabir is great. I do like him. He's another one. I'll do four more and then I'll stop, guys. But all these people I'm just mentioning, all these channels, go subscribe to them. I'm telling you, you will like them. Let's see. Do you think The Rock is a good actor for Yujiro Hama? No, he's not. You want to get you want Yujiro Hama, then you get a real Japanese actor or Asian actor to play that role. Don't change that. Do not change that character's race. Yujiro Hama is Japanese. Don't fuck with that. I'm sorry. Don't fuck with that. That's how I feel about the Major. Don't you shouldn't have, I love Scarlett Johansson, but that role should have went to an Asian actor. Not her. Batman animated series or Marvel Spider-Man, which do you love more? Uh that's hard, man. Why you put me in that situation? It's Spider-Man and Batman. Who do you think? There you go. Who do you think? I'll throw that back at you, Perry. Who do you think? Who do you think? Next up. Did you watch the Snake Eyes movie? Which Marvel character do you see being part of the Suicide Squad? If Waller could get her hands on him, Taskmaster could be one. Is definitely one. Hi, Chris. Hi, Caroline. Who's your favorite goddess in mythology? That's a tough one because I have a lot of favorite goddesses. I like Pele, the volcano goddess, fire goddess from the Hawaiian gods. I am a fan of Athena. I am a fan of Artemis, and pretty much a lot of African deities. I like them. Like you read up about them, like Mama Wata and all those. I'm just like, ooh, this stuff is cool, you know. So yeah, there are, but outside of Greek, there's a lot of Celtic gods I like. There's a Celtic god who is the god of bears, and what it's supposed to be is she's just very woman, this redhead woman, but she walks around with bears. She has bears will walk around. And then there's a god from the Cherokee Nation who is called the Buffalo Woman, and she has, I think it's Buffalo Woman. I could be wrong. And she's a goddess who walks around with a white buffalo. Stuff like that's really cool. So yeah. Uh did like did like GI Joe member Stalker? Do I like? Guys, y'all gotta fix your grammar. I don't want to be a grammar hound, but come on. Hey Chris, long time has it. Not really, because you were here before, but that's cool one. Quentin, do you think Keanu Reeves would be a good actor for Samurai Jack? Uh yeah, but then no, once again, I want a real Japanese actor to play that role. I know he did 47 Ronin and he was supposed to be biracial. He was mixed in that. And that's fine, but real actor, get a real Japanese actor to play a samurai. Like, just saying. Have you played GTA the definitive edition? Which definitive? There you go. Just kind of. But if you, I like Fing Fang Foom. If that's another one you'd like. Travis, Street Fighter rumor about Ken was BS. No, it's not that BS. It's he is on the run. He's on the run. He's not homeless. He's on the run. There was a scandal. Something happened in his company where he now had to keep Eliza and Mel safe. He has to be on the run. So he's not homeless and he ain't broke, but something is in his company is happening. So what would Joker think of the character like Carnage, Green Goblin, and Bullseye? You want to know what he thinks of Carnage? Go read Batman, Spider-Man, Batman comic. He's in that comic. You can see what he thinks about Carnage. Goblin, Bullseye. Bullseye would probably kill him. Hey, as a amputee, I've been thinking myself, would you consider doing a top 10 amputees like Bucky, Misty Knight, Forge? Yeah, I could do that. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing that. I mean, those are characters who had lost limbs and had them replaced with something. Yeah, I mean, you kind of already started my list. Juan, you should have never said that, but yeah, yeah, I could do that sometime. Would Jensen Ackles be a good Scott Summers? Anything to get him away from being stuck in supernatural, like, yeah, I wouldn't mind, but I think he would make a good Batman. I think he'd make a good Jason Todd. I think he would. Just he would. I think he would make a really good Jason Todd. Uh, Even though I'm not the biggest Jason Todd fan, but you get where I'm coming from with that, right? Uh, let's see. Um, let's see. Um, Sorry, guys. Where we at? Oh, uh, last. Will you watch or react Super Mario's film trailer coming soon? Maybe. I might. Maybe. It may not be on this channel. It may be on my video game channel because that's a video game so maybe I will. Uh, yes, maybe. Just say it, maybe. Just maybe. Hold on. Let me look up something real quick. Oh, it is today a birthday. Okay. Okay, cool. No, was it when was it? Yesterday? A couple of days ago. Okay. Sorry guys, I was looking up a birthday. Um so yeah, thank you. Let's see. Moving on. What time was it? Oh, we good. We good. Uh, I I do not like face huggers. I hate them. Yeah, I don't do it. Nope. Hell no. Uh, no. No, 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 no. No. You can go to hell with that. I am not a fan of. I am not a fan of. I'm not a fan of face huggers, yo. I got nothing. Nothing else scares me but face huggers. Mm-mm. Not about that life. Not about that life. Mm-mm. People laugh at me because I'm so scared of those things, but I am. I don't like those. I don't like. I don't like. I don't like the face huggers. I don't, guys. I really don't. And if you guys you see me keep looking down, I'm on my phone. I'm thinking I'm getting a little hungry, so I'm about to order something. But yeah, I don't. I don't. I really don't. Go to hell with that. Like I said, my brother has done this many times. He said, like, yeah, I'm gonna make a face hugger cake or get a doll face hugger. Even when I was at MegaCon this year, Tyler, Mr. Multi, pulled out a face hugger. He said, Chris, look up. I looked up and I was like, I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna punch you in your mouth. Like, go, don't. I will literally. I'm not even joking. Like, if I find somebody, I told my brother. I was like, if you do that, I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna put you in a hurt lock. Don't you get no face hugger crap from me. I'm not joking. And still to this day, the fact that he told me that there was going to be a there was going to be a giant one. Hell no. Hell no. Get away from me. That's you jerks. Anyway, let's move on. Where we at? Street Fighter kept track of. What would Bane think of Billy Kincaid? So which classic movie monster would probably be more scarier to face off against, the Blob, the Thing, or the Fly? Well, Fly, I ain't scared of, so you kiss my ass, I'll blow his brains out. I'm either going the Thing or the Blob. Yeah, there you go. How are you enjoying the Marvel Disney Plus shows this year so far? I love them. They're great. I love them. I'm loving that. The problem I'm having with people with She-Hulk right now is everybody just like, when's Daredevil coming? It's like I'm not even going to get into it. No, we're not. We're not. We're not getting into that. Not at all. But yet, that's all you hear. People like, oh, when's that coming? When's that? Man, get out of here. Let's see. Uh, I feel so alive. Bug, got you. Been a fly in my room all day. I'm trying to get that thing. Stay safe. You too. Can Lucifer Morningstar, can he beat Lord Barris? A god beating a god fighting a angel or so. I will probably go a god. I don't think he could. That's a tough one, Chris, because I love both game series. There you go. Supernature went on long. I mean, Supernatural went on. I don't even watch that show. Yeah, it did. It went on for a long time. What do you like about the goddesses? Do you mention? Well, let's look at Athena, for example. What is she the goddess of? Wisdom. Yes, she's also goddess of war too, but they more focus on her wisdom. Athena, Artemis. What? Yeah, I said. Yeah, did I say Artemis? I said Artemis. Artemis, the goddess of the hunt. You know, she was the protector of all the animals and things like that. I love that. Um, I just mentioned all the cool stuff about everybody else. The bear goddess, and that's from Celtic. Uh, uh, all the Egyptian goddess, they're cool. All the female goddesses, Isis, you know, Sekhmet, even Boss. Boss is real. Boss is real. Not it's not fake. So I do love them, but like I said, I give an example. Wisdom, wisdom. Like I said, it's all about wisdom. You could really get a lot from wisdom. Hmm. Let's see. Let's see. What's the next one? Cuba, with a K, not with a C. Thoughts on the Last of Us series trailer? Yeah, I saw the latest Last of Us TV series trailer that's coming on HBO. Very faithful, very faithful. Um, looks good, looks real good. A lot of potential. The trailer is one thing, but gotta watch this. I need to see the full product. But outside of that, yeah, it looked good. I was really impressed. I meant the remastered trilogy. I don't really care about those too much. I just don't really care too much about remastering stuff unless it's getting a real big facelift. Don't even bother. Can Darkseid Omega Beam kill the Monkey King? The Monkey King is a god. Darkseid, he's considered a god, maybe, but Monkey King ain't gonna make it easy. Monkey King is super powerful. What Batman villain would you compare to real criminals? For example, Harley Quinn, Hamaka, Riddler, the Zodiac Killer. Um, well, what would if I would probably say the Joker's kind of like John Wayne Gacy, because he's a clown. He's John Wayne Gacy was the clown killer, but I just talked about this. He was a serial killer. He killed kids. Joker doesn't. I don't think he kills kids, but um, Victor Zsasz. You think of anybody? I mean, Victor Zsasz. You think of any? He kind of reminds me of Victor Zsasz. Kind of reminds me of I wouldn't not Jack the Ripper, but geez, what serial killer? Ted Bundy? No, it's not Ted Bundy. I think it's the weepy voice killer. It's one of them serial killers. So yeah, there's a couple, and Joke, Penguin, and he just reminds me of like the mob, like you know, Dano. What's your thoughts? What's up, little stupid fly still up there? Hey, Dano, how you doing? Happy related birthday. Yeah, I think it was your birthday not too long ago. So yeah, good. It's good. What Transformers character do you hate a lot? What Transformers character I hate a lot? Oh, you want that? You want that? Okay, I will give that to you. Hot Shot. Fuck him. I was trying not to curse this whole time, and screw Hot Rod. There we go. Hot Rod. Screw him, because it's his fault. Optimus got hurt. I'll never forgive him for that. I never forget him. He shouldn't even got the Matrix of power, Matrix of leadership, and became Rodimus Prime. Get the hell out of here. He should have been. Screw him. Hate that character. Screw him. Could Mark? Wait, what was it? Could The Mask work as an adult animated series? Yeah, it could if they wanted to. Have you played or at least heard of the video game Smite? Smite Battlegrounds of the Gods. I have. I've never played it. Who are the goddesses you don't like, and who are the male gods that I wouldn't say goddess? There's not a lot of. I don't hate Hera, but I think the reason why she acts the way she is because her dumbass husband / brother. Because yeah, go to research into Zeus and Hera, and you'd be like, wait, they're related. But I hate Zeus. I hate Zeus. I hate Zeus. Hate Zeus. A lot of the shit that happens that Hera has done is because of Zeus. Because he can't keep it in his pot. He can't keep it in his pants. He think because I'm king, I can do whatever I want. And his brothers kind of followed suit too. Hades did some stupid enough. Look at what he did with Penelope. Not Penelope. What he did with Persephone, Demeter's daughter. And then you got Poseidon. If it wasn't for Poseidon raping Medusa, she wouldn't have been turned into the Gorgon. He raped her in front of the shrine of his niece, Athena. Like it's you get more crap with the Greeks, the Greek pantheon, the Olympians more than any other pantheon. It's ridiculous how much it's like they're ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, what's wrong with y'all? So yeah, like males, Zeus is definitely up there. I hate Zeus. This is ridiculous. Like he gives. You talk about player, and I would almost even say rapist. You know how many kids he's had? He the stories you hear, like he turned himself into a dead lover and stuff, and went in there and popped pop the corks and try not to get banned on YouTube, and then pop them cherries, and then next you know he turned around and reveals like it was I, Zeus, who now you have my child in you. It's like this asshole, like get out of here. Jackass, man. I can't stand Zeus. Um, would Norman Reedus be a good Jonah Hex? He would be more of a better Ghost Rider, in my opinion. I think he would be great as Johnny Blaze. I think he would be great as Johnny Blaze. Eternal Champions was very hard. It could have been. It wasn't that hard for me, but I can understand. Yeah. I want to see this crossover Link versus Predator. Mm, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, it was my birthday. Yeah, my birthday was 14. Yep. Uh, you interested in the Percy Jackson show coming on Disney Plus? I'm gonna give it a whirl. I'm gonna give it a whirl. And I see. Oh, good day, hey, Guitars in. What's up, Bert? Um, I'm gonna give the Percy Jackson a whirl. I will give it a whirl. We'll see. You know, I am gonna give it a whirl. How you doing, Tim? How you doing? So yeah, I am gonna give that a chance. You know, because that deals with gods and stuff too. I like that stuff. Uh, so yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm really good. It's getting ready to be an emotional year. Well, not emotional. It's already started, Tim. For me, you know, we coming on October is coming around, and for everybody who doesn't know, uh, October 5th, it will be the 26th anniversary. Yeah, 26th anniversary of my mother's death. So yeah, it's gonna get real emotional real quick. I know I'm gonna start waking up crying, and because somebody asked me at Christmas, when's the last time you cried? I said I cried like 2 weeks ago. Like I cried a week ago. I cried because I'm like, oop, her anniversary of her death is coming, and I'm just crying. So yeah, it's gonna get emotional. Uh, call Dog God of them versus Zeus. I'm going with no. I don't care. I hate Zeus, so I don't care. Kuba, do you hate Hercules? Hercules. Do I hate the son of Zeus? No, I don't. I don't hate him. Yeah, there are some. He's done some things too, but I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I respect his 12 labors. I respect what he's done, but you know, Zeus, his papa, I hate. I don't like his papa. What movie do you plan to watch this Halloween? Guess Halloween. That's one. There you go. And I'm hungry. I'm getting hungry. I need something to eat. Let's see. What's this? Oh, let me close it. Shoot. Yo. Yeah. So yeah, I don't like. I'm not a fan of. Not a fan of. I am a fan of Herc. Oh my God! What do I want? Like, give me something. Just give me something. Mm, 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 mm. I'm done. Wait, I just saw some. Uh, let's see what is next. We have. Oh yeah, I'll give you that at the end. Okay, so I'll do that then. Sorry, damn, dude. Damn, sorry, dude. It always super tough being without a parent. Yeah, my dad's. Yeah, it's tough. You know, it's been on my life for 20 some years and it still hurts. Still hurts. Never get to see. Who is the worst father, Trigon or Zeus? They both are. Because of Geese and Akuma and Tekken and Mai and Kula and I kind of want to see a crossover between all. Uh, outside of okay, first of all, it's cool, but here's the thing. Remember, Akuma or Goki was a part of the story. So literally, what that is saying that Street Fighter and Tekken are in the same universe. Nobody can tell me any differently. Street Fighter and Street Fighter and uh and Tekken are in the same universe. Point blank, period. Nobody will tell me any differently that they're not because they are. Um they are. Uh Nobody could tell me any differently. Nobody is going to tell me any differently that uh they're not in the same universe because they are. That was part of the story with Akuma coming after Hihachi. That was in the story. That was not just a he was not just a DLC character. No, he was in part of the story. My birthday is in 2 weeks, turning 25. Oh wow, turning 25. Congrats. I love that year. That was a good year for me. I actually like that year. Um, so let's see what else we got. Yo, yo. Yeah, congrats on that. And on that. Um, no thanks. Oh, okay. All right. Um, have you watched the new I have not watched the new Beavis and Butthead yet. I haven't. I'm gonna watch it. I haven't watched it yet. Gal Wolf, Marketer Wolf 2. I'm just call it Fatal Fury. I don't need that. Could the mask work as a TV series? You'd have to get people that care about the franchise to make it work. Who is the older brother, Zeus or Hades? I believe Zeus is the older brother. I think, or is it Hades? I think it's Hades. I think. Let's find out. How about that? I've always thought it was Hades. I could be wrong. Uh, Zeus was the youngest. Yeah. Yes. Zeus is the. No, wait. Oh no. It's hard to see. It's really hard it's that's the thing about mythology and especially Greek mythology, because I remember at one point, I remember in one source they said Zeus is the oldest. Then in another source they said Hades is the oldest. So it's hard. It depends on the source. It always comes down to that. Um, Terry and Blue Mary are a couple. Are they? I think they are. Have you watched Brahmist Brahmast? What? Who? Brahmasta movie? I don't know what that is. Hades is older. It depends on the source. Every source is different. There are a lot of sources that will say differently, but most will say Hades to a degree. There's a 50-50. A lot of people say Zeus. How about the upcoming Beavis and Butter? Are you going to watch? Yeah, I'm gonna see it. Actually, Hades is the oldest. That once again, guys, it depends on the source. There are a lot of sources that will say otherwise. Not don't believe everything you read on, and that's why I said I'm like, wait a minute, yeah, I remember being differently. What animes are you currently watching? For me, I'm watching Saint Seiya. Oh, I know Saint Seiya, classic right there, and Common Rider. Oh, okay. Anime currently that I'm watching, Fire Force. Can't wait to Chainsaw Man's anime. So did I watch the Shenmue anime? I did. I did watch that, Kuba. It was great. I liked it a lot. It was fun. Well, older child of Hestia. Hestia. Yeah, Hestia. Who should play Null the God of Symbiote? I think it's Tony Todd to do the voice. Christian Bale to do the body. No, I don't. No, I don't want Christian Bale. Don't touch, because he already screwed up with the already screwed what's the name? Screwed the God Butcher. Nah, we don't need him no more. You know, if he didn't play, if he didn't play, if he didn't play Norman Osborn, I could see Willem Dafoe playing him. Yeah, I could see Willem Dafoe. Who is your favorite Saint Seiya character? Uh, um, who is my? Um, I mean, I always love the main characters. I just, oh my god. Let me make sure. Um, Shiryu. I think it's uh, Shiryu. I think he's one. He's definitely one. Yeah, I think it is Shiryu. I think he's one. He's definitely one. Uh, yeah, I thought it was on like kind of iffy. Who would be a good live action Solid Snake? They already casted Solid Snake. Um, you don't know who's playing. Oscar Isaac is playing Solid Snake in the Metal Gear movie. Same as Moon Knight, he's playing Snake. Man's making them checks. Have you seen or have you watched Prey yet? I watched Prey. I liked it. I loved it. Thought it was great. Uh, I just haven't put up my review yet of it. It's just sitting in my computer. I just haven't put up yet, but I've watched Prey. I loved it. I talked about it. If you once again shows that you don't look at my community feed, because I posted a post about Prey, and I said I loved it. I know who looks at my posts and who don't. Uh, I also finished watching the entire series of the Jeffrey up. Uh, yeah, we just talked about Jeffrey Dahmer on the Netflix show. I didn't, and I'm not gonna watch it because I don't, a lot of the victims of the victims, their family members don't want to revisit that, and I agree wholeheartedly with them because that's how I feel about a lot of serial killers. From your Ted Bundys to your Charles Manson to your John Wayne Gacy, all them people. It's like I can only imagine what people's families, these people who have killed them, like just what they're going through. So somebody just asked me that question earlier. What Bleach character do you like? Do you not like? Um, it's not really a Bleach character I don't like. I never really looked at any that I don't like. I really don't. I've been saying it for years, but Bryan Cranston would make a good Commissioner Gordon. I could see Bryan Cranston, Gordon, or Professor Xavier. I'm just saying. I like Saint Shirai, the dragon. He was good. Uh oh. Uh oh. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let me see what's the next. Stream frost for screen froze for 15 seconds. Oh, sorry. What the hell? Get out of here, bug. Uh, yeah, yeah. So yeah, definitely. Sorry about that. Do you think Pixar would do a Western movie? I hope. I really hope they do. That'd be cool. Oh, that'd be cool. I want the '90s Spider-Man to come back. So basically, what you're saying is you want them to continue where the series left off when they were going to find Mary Jane. The fifth season. If it got a fifth season, it was going to be they were going to find MJ living in I think she would be living in early 19th century London, and Carnage was going to be chasing her. Carnage would have been like the Jack the Ripper of that time. I'm like, okay, but it makes you wonder what would have happened after that. Yeah, my heart goes out to the victims. Yeah, this is just it's not. You know, I know there's a lot of people that look at they look at those serial killers and it's like, yeah, you only see that stuff in America. It's not just America. That's the one thing. But I will say is like I told everybody earlier. I said, go Google Ted Bundy, Charles Manson. Look at their eyes. They're monsters. Like you just see evil, pure evil. Truly let you know that evil does exist. Evil incarnate does exist. You could just see it in their eyes. Um, indeed. Um, let's see. Eliza just talked about Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine. I did that earlier. Bryan Cranston voiced Jim Gordon in year one. Did he? Did he? I think he did. I can't remember. Um, Samurai Shadow favorite character. What? Who? Uh, Quentin Blake. Do you want record record show comeback? Record show? What? What show? What's record show? I don't. I don't. I don't know what that is. Yeah. What's record show? Yeah, you got to explain that to me. What's record show? You know what pisses me off about these serial killers? A lot of them, a lot of fans too. Yeah, that I mean, I wouldn't say fans, but it's just like I mean, we do. I mean, in terms, there is more glorification for the outlaws. Like look at Western characters. The outlaws get more spotlight than the lawmen of that time period. You know, they don't talk about those. They talk more about the outlaws. You're just Frank and Jesse James, Billy the Kid. You know, all them those characters. Yeah, but you don't talk about the men that same thing like Al Capone is like revered, but I know I watch. Well, okay, here we go. I talked about YouTubers I watch a real you probably heard this name before. His name is Michael Franceses. He was a real capo in the Canosta family, mafia family here in New York. He got out and he talked about Capone. He used to say he you can find him on YouTube. He's all over his channel. His channel's great. And it's very educational how he talks about the mob and what the life is really like, and a lot of stuff in there. He reviews a lot of mob movies and stuff, but it's great. He's really good. And he's very honest about it. And it's funny because when I talk, it was like, yo, shouldn't you be dead? Because it's mob, you can't leave the mob. Once you make that connect, he was a made man. He was a big time in the mafia. And he got out. But he talked about, the life in the mob, and and he's just like, and he brought up Capone, and he said, Capone was revered in the movies and everything. He's not to us. He says my dad knew him, and he said he was nothing. He says my dad said we chased him out of Brooklyn and he went to Chicago. That's saying a lot. Like, okay, so yeah, but we see that a lot. They talk more about Al Capone, but they never talk. They don't put enough emphasis on like Elliot Ness, the man who helped take him down, and things like that. Stuff. It's always about it is we do, but sometimes when they do these documentaries, like I said, the clown killer, John Wayne Casey, I watched a documentary on Discovery about, and it wasn't about him, it was about how his sister is going through life, knowing that her brother was the clown killer. And I always think about that. Some of these serial killers had family and have family and siblings, and it's like, how are they living their lives knowing that? I don't know if I don't remember if Ted Bundy had brothers or sisters, but it's like, if like I've used myself as an example. If my dad or so was a serial killer, how would I get on with life knowing that he's hurt people and things like that? Like, you would want to stay away from it, right? It's true. I get it. Um, what the hell? Oh, I know about that. Okay, I think he meant regular show. Oh, regular show. Do I miss it or would I want it back? Yeah, I wouldn't mind having it back. I love the regular show. It was a good show. Holy cow, that was Crimson as Gordon in year one. Yeah, yeah, it was him. I meant regular show. Yeah, I loved regular show. What what wait, what would you have Ken Watanabe as Samurai Jack or as the Shredder? Um, what would I think of Ken Watanabe? I'll go you one better with that. If they were to do a Samurai Jack movie, the actor I would get to play uh uh who played to play Jack would be I'm already forgetting his name. I had it. Let me just make sure I remember his name. Um, Sanada-san, uh, Hiroyuki Sanada. I would get him. You talk about you want somebody who is authentically done sword samurai movies a lot. There's your actor. There you go. There's who would play Jack for me. There you go. I think Ken Watanabe's been having some health issues that last I remember. I hope he's doing well. If Pixar made a Woody's Roundup an actual movie, I definitely want. I wouldn't want it to be a roundup movie, but I would want it to be something similar to like what they did with Lightyear, where it is Woody as it's a real guy. It's real Woody playing him and Jesse. I would love them to do that because I feel they should do that. They should do Woody. Let's see. Springguard was the closest thing to Metal Gear Solid anime. I never seen it. I don't think haven't seen that with it. Do you know 80s gamer? Do I know him? No, I don't. No, I don't. John Wayne Gacy was shown in one episode of the Dahmer too. See? You see? Look at that. You see? Dahmer got his karma in prison. Yeah, he did. In 1994, I was 12 when he died. In prison. I was 12. He died in 94. He was killed by an inmate in prison. Um, and that brings up another, and that right there, that brings up another YouTuber that I love to watch. His name is Larry Lawton. He was a jewel thief. He's a real life jewel thief. He's like considered one of the best. Went to prison. He got out, and he talks about life in prison. He talks about, and this is just he just is educating. He's educating people on prison life and why you don't do it because you're gonna get caught. And as good as he was, he got caught, and he talks about it. And one of my favorite videos of his, what is it like for pedophiles in prison? And I always wondered about this. You could be a killer, shot people or whatever, help people hostage, but if prisoners find out that you are a pedophile, meaning you had sexual relations, you forced yourself on the kids and things like that. I always wonder because we see this in TV shows like Law and Order, like these guys are pedophiles, and then you see them next time they're all beat up and stuff. They found out that I'm a pedophile and they beat me up. So I wondered if it was true. And Mr. Lawton talked about it. He said, yes, that is legitimately true. These they find out that you are getting beat up every day because even in prison there's a code. I was like, wow, that's there's a code. There's a code. Like, okay, you can shoot somebody, whatever, but kids, that's why right now, like I can tell you right now, that's why what the hell is his name? Who was the spokesperson for Subway? I'm forgetting his name. That's why he's not in no maximum security prison. He's in a federal prison where it's all kind of white collar crimes. If they found out he was doing that child pornography, oh my God, you'd probably see his in the news. Former spokesperson for Subway's been killed, and they would beat the living hell out of him. You know that for a fact. I'm Jared. Jared. Um, will Simon will Simon Jack trust Spawn? No. I like the Shenmue, but I didn't like some characters were downplayed. They had to. I. It wasn't that they was downplayed. I think they had to really move the series along, and that's understandable because half of that first game is running around trying to find, the whole thing, trying to find sailors, do this at night, do this. They had to move it along, but I didn't mind that. It was fine. God damn. Okay, I gotta find something. Uh, okay. Hold on. Oh, you gotta be out of your mind for that, dude. What's my thing? Oh, okay. What was I doing? Oh, add another item. Oh, I'll just go. Where are you? Damn it. Sorry, guys. we what? Remove that stupid nonsense. Okay. Let's see. What y'all got next for me? Yeah. There is one. Yes, there is one more. Oh, Kuma, thank you very much. I appreciate that, bro. You're actually writing down all these people that I'm talking about. Yeah, you guys want to know what I watch on YouTube? Like, I don't just surf YouTube. I actually watch people. There's one more I wanted to talk about, and it's really important. But first, let me do something real quick. Okay. Let me do something real quick. Okay. Um, there's one more that I wanted to show you guys, and uh, there's one more. There's one more YouTube. Well, there's a bunch. I have a lot, but I said I'll do. I did two. I'll do two more. Let me show you. There is. Um, Here it is. Uh, uh, this is a channel that I love. It's called Yoel and Marie. Um, I watch this a lot. I love their videos. This is his Yoel is here. This I think this is Yoel, and that's his wife. And he is it's and it even says documents the immigrant journey and all his firsts. This gentleman right here is from Cuba, from Cuba. So everything he's seeing is for the first time, and so he is seeing. He grew up for 30 something years in a world of communist dictatorship, and now into capitalism and freedom and stuff. They just were not too long right here in New York, and I watched their short, and I watched them. He was the short was him walking around Times Square, and he's looking, and he's just like, oh my god, he's like he's like the billboards, and he's like, oh my, it's better than in the movies, and I'm watching this guys, and I'm like, and I start crying because I'm like, we take for granted what we have, But when someone who never had it sees it and is experiencing it for the first time, it kind of starts to reiterate a little bit like, you know what? Stop complaining because someone also has it better, worse, or had it worse. This man right here, look at that. Sees American markets for the first time. I watched that when he went to that marketplace, seeing rows of food and everything like that. The everything they've gone to, like them going to their first Yankee game. It was great. Him going to like because they would spend time in New York, going to Grand Central Station, and it just blows my mind when I see stuff like that. I love channels like that showcases what people who come from like communist countries and they come to this country and they or come to another country that is more you know capitalism and stuff or freedom, and they're blown away and they start crying. That brings me emotion. I'm like, oh my God, like, you know what it's like when have you ever listened to some of these North Korean refugees talk about what it's like for them? I remember I watched one and I swear to on my mother's grave to hear what this woman said. She said before she escaped to South Korea, to North Korea, she said, she said, she said they used to watch videos of Americans and the whole thing was to pretty much ostracize them from saying like the Western world is the enemy. You know, people they would show us pictures of them Americans eating raw beef and bread and looking very scary. It didn't matter what you were, whether you were a child or not, you were the enemy. It's like, what? Hearing them say, this woman, then she went on to say, I ate, she basically doesn't eat potatoes anymore because that's all she ate. She said, anytime I see potatoes, I can't eat it no more. She said, if we were ever caught eating beef or chicken or pork, we would get shot on sight. I'm like, what are you like? Stuff like that just makes me emotional. I'm like, you got to be kidding me that you would be shot on sight if they caught you eating beef, chicken. You got to be kidding me. Stuff like so channels like that I also love, and Yoel and Mari is definitely one of them. It's good stuff, and I always love watching the videos, just seeing the look on this gentleman's face of just everything that we look at and is like, oh, that's great, but I've seen it enough time. But I've always told people there's something about walking in the city of Manhattan. No matter how many times I've gone into that city. It's just something damn near special about it. I don't know what it is. It's the food, the people, you know. I don't know what it is. The city, I just don't know, but it's special. It just even when I go further up New York State and I'm on by the Hudson River. I've said it before. I did a video on it. I said, guys, there's just something about the simplicity of this river that always just makes me, it is. So that's the last video. That's the last YouTube channel I will give you guys. But if I recommend all the videos, all the channels that I talked about, from Dr. Hope to Dr. Mike to Michael Franzese, Larry Lawton, Dashi, Corey Kenshin, you name it. They all are good channels. These are channels I watch all the time. They always make me just realize that, you're doing something too, Chris. Like, and that's the one thing that I love that Corey says. He says, just keep doing your thing. Don't, he's just talking to anybody. Like, don't look at, oh, well, this person's got this many subscribers and you only have that many. I don't, because I hear you guys say all the time, man, you should have more subscribers or you should do this, should be more. I appreciate what I have and I appreciate that, whatever, it is what it is. So yeah, there you go. People talking about Jeffrey Dahmer again. Okay, yeah. Please don't stop talking about that. Did you watch the Buzz Lightyear movie? I did watch Lightyear. All those movies I watched. The reviews are in my on my computer. I just haven't uploaded them yet. They're all there. I just haven't uploaded them. I mean, Tom was downplayed. We see him for but he's downplayed. But Tom was a real side character. There was nothing much to him outside of what he saw. Like that's Spawn versus Akuma. Aku? Oh, Aku. Spawn. Uh okay, new subject. The reviews I've seen of Lightyear was interesting to say the least. So many, so many, so many people were shitting on it for a number of reasons. For those people, because what they wanted was the toy line. I don't care. It was a good move. It was a good movie that gave more incentive into Buzz's Buzz's mentality, uh, which I like. And if you haven't watched it, I'm not going to spoil it, but it did focus a lot on obsession or goal of completing the mission. I'll just leave it at that. But it was really good. Um, I liked Lightyear. It was great. Hey Chris. Hey Nathan. What time is it? All right, we are getting ready to wrap this up, guys. So, do you watch S- Suction Cup Man? Who's Suction Cup Man? Hellboy, Hellboy, Spawn, Hellboy, Dante, Sub Zero, Scorpion, Ryu Hayabusa, John Constantine, Angela team up to take on Demonic Hell's army. Well, Spawn and Hellboy kind of rule, so they is uh favorite movie as a kid. Still love Best of the Best. I love Best of the Best. I've seen three of them. I know there was four of them. I've never seen the fourth one. I've seen three, not four. Yeah, I'm good. Childhood memories of living in New York City, besides Springfield, Mass, Brooklyn, New York, the other side, yeah, consider home. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Like but to see, you we take for granted sometimes what we have, but when you see someone who never had it and is amazed what we have, and that just blows my mind every time. Every time I watch Yoel and Mari's videos, it just blows my mind. Um, do you ever miss the Twin Towers? Every day? Every day. I do. Anytime I see them in movies prior to when it happened, it's like, oh. I was watching. What was I watching last night? Uh, I was watching Trading Places last night, and Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd were right underneath them. Right, they were right below them, right before they went in. I was like, oh, ugh. I tell you, man, like going to that memorial, it you will when you walk on that memorial site, something changes in you. And I remember taking a picture on that site, and I was smiling, but then I wasn't smiling because it was just it just felt like I was feeling the souls of the dead that was there. It was breathtaking, but I just felt so emotional. It was so emotional. Um, indeed. Uh, um, yeah, you come back over, fly boy. I'm gonna get you. Pest. There's a lot of movies I grew up with. Stupid bug, get away from me. Sorry. There's a lot of movies that I grew up with and I love, but there are others that haven't aged the best. But I can't bring myself to hating them. That's for everybody. I mean, that's for everybody. You think there are movies I that that I haven't that I grew up with and I watch them now? I'm like, yes, it hasn't aged very well, but I still love it. Like, well, for me, one of the like I remember going back and watching the He-Man and the Master of the Universe movie, and as a kid, I remember going to see that in the movie theaters, and I loved it. I was like, yeah. I remember when I turned 13 and watched it again. I was like, what the hell was I thinking? This movie, you know what? Stupid. Like, yeah. Um, imagine people who watched like Jaws when it first came out and go back and watch it now. It's like it's probably funny to them, and it is funny to me. It's to see this toilet roll of a shark jump out of the water and beach itself on a boat just to get to these people. I'm like, shark wouldn't do that. First of all, no way is that shark doing that. It's funny. It cracks me up. It cracks me up. It's like I watched Mortal Kombat, the original from '90s, and I'm like, yeah, the special effects have not aged well. Yeah, but I love it. I watched that more. I watched that one more than I watched that latest one. Get out of here with that. I watched Spawn not too long ago from '97 with Michael J. White and John Leguizamo, and I'm like, yeah, this hasn't aged well either. It's like, yeah, it hasn't. So yeah, there's always going to be movies like that, but there's still movies like still to this day. I look at that original Predator and look at Stan Winston's work, and you're like, God damn, that work! Like, as soon as that face opens up, you're like, that's practical effects. That's not CGI or anything. That you're like, yo, that's practical effects. It's great. It's great. It just bothers me then. Do you want a new Spawn game? I mean, yes and no, because I don't know what you would do with it now. Because there's so many different spawns now. Like there's gunslinger spawn, there's all these different spawns. The last Spawn game I have is the one for Dreamcast. That's the last one that Capcom made. It's kind of like an open world fighting game. It was pretty good. Have you watched an Inda movie, buddy? What you mean? Have I watched any Bollywood movies or anything? No, I haven't. Uh, I've been to the memorial. Me too. Don't forget Home Alone 2 with Macaulay standing on top of the World Trade. Yeah, Home Alone. There's so many. Home Alone. I was about to start watching Home. I was about to start watching Home Alone soon anyway. Those are Christmas movies I watch over and over. Good to see Macaulay Culkin doing well, and he's got a kid now, and he's with Brenda some. He's good. Happy for him. There were some movies and shows I watched as a kid that I haven't watched again anytime soon. Cartoons age better than most live action stuff. Most of the time, depends. You missed my question earlier. Who what is who was is your favorite character from the Friends cast? I missed that. I didn't see it. I must have. I do like Friends. I know there are a lot of people that don't like Friends, and I can understand the reasons for. Um, Friends, Friends. Before Friends, there was Living Singles, and if nobody's never seen Living Singles, go watch that because that's where Friends pretty much got their idea from. Who was my favorite character from Friends? Mm, I probably would say Chandler or Joey out of the males. I liked Ross, but sometimes he was just a whiny. I couldn't take him too much no more. It was always about, and I did feel bad for him. It was like almost every time he got married, or something like that, he would get divorced. And I'm just like, good God. But I was happy when him and Rachel said, all right, let's do this again. As for the females, Phoebe was always my favorite. I always loved Phoebe. She was that just open. I like Rachel. I mean, Jennifer Aniston, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I'll be straight real. Jennifer Aniston is a very beautiful woman. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I can stare at her all day. Like I look at her, I'm like, God, she is pretty. I'm like, I look at her, I'm like, are you wearing any makeup? Because if not, you're just naturally pretty. I like that. So yeah, I liked Monica, but she could be overbearing sometimes, and she was a klepto, not a klepto. I felt like she had some OCD issues, but yeah, it was fine. Um, what are movies that you watch as a kid but appreciate even more as an adult? That's a good question. Uh, yeah, okay, that's a good question. The Land Before Time is up there. Uh, the Land Before Time is up there for a lot of reasons, and I actually put this post up on my Facebook about movie scenes still to this day that make me cry, and Land Before Time was up there. When Littlefoot's mom died, ooh boy, that still gets me. And with me, even more, it gets me even more. And to see this little brontosaurus or so pleading with his mother to get up, like, please get up, mama, please get up. You know, she's like, I don't think I can, little, and she's like, yes, you can, get up, please get. And it gets me. Um, so Land Before Time is up there. Um, the Never Ending Story. I appreciate Willow. Uh, a lot of movies. Karate Kid for sure is. I appreciate that more now than I ever did. Um, I got to throw Back to the Future up in there. I appreciate it even more. Um, and I will be damned if I see a remake of that movie. I will go choke somebody. I'll go to where whoever owns it and be like, I will choke you out if you make a remake of that movie. Don't need one. Hmm. But there's a lot. Um. Uh. I hated I hated Friends since it came out, but my partner got me into it. Took me 25 years to finally watch it. That's how it is sometimes. Some people, will sit down and watch it now and just like, okay, I give a prime example for me. I know that a lot of people that love, the Sopranos. I never really cared for it. I never really cared for the Sopranos. I never cared. I was just like, okay, it's what is it? It's a show about a mob family, okay, but I didn't care for it. I know people that love that show, and I had friends and coworkers, former coworkers, like, Chris, you watch Sopranos? I'm like, no. They're like, what? You don't? I get people that ask me, Chris, do you watch Game of Thrones? I'm like, no. What? Why don't you watch that? I'm like, it just wasn't. It just wasn't for me. I wasn't into it. And I love, sorcery and dragons and stuff, but that just wasn't for me. I don't know. It's just And then one person understood, is like, is it because of the incest? And I'm like, that kind of is a little bit of it. Like, it's a little bit. And she's like, I can understand that. But there's a lot of people that don't understand that. You don't watch Game of Thrones. I'm like, no. I'm happy for anybody else that watches it, but it wasn't for me. Like Tom Holland said, it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. Mm. Let's see. Phoebe is cool, but Chandler was always my favorite. Chandler's great. He's funny. Like his third nipple. That's hilarious. Chandler's got issue. Like he's got more issues than anyone. I'm like, so his dad is a. I wouldn't say no. His dad literally became female. Like I think he had a gender change. And I remember when they finally did that, it was Kathleen Turner played his dad. I was like, okay, they did that. I was like, whoa. And he invited him to him and Monica's wedding, and she said she said I'll be there. I was like, he had to get over that. So there was a couple of things. I love the episode, and the one thing I will say about Friends that I really love is the guest stars. Oh my God, there was the who's who of people that guest starred on that show is incredible on a TV show, and they were getting A-list actors on that show. It was ridiculous. Not a lot of TV shows can say they were almost every guest star was an A-lister. Like they don't. And I'm not talking about great TV star actors. No, we're talking movie stars. So yeah. What would Doctor Strange and Doctor Fate think of each? I've answered this question before, Cyborg. You asked me this last time. I said they would probably be cool with each other. I said that before. I don't know about Naboo. Naboo, the helmet. I don't know what the helm may think differently, but depending on the person underneath the helm, I think would respect Steven. Steven. What time is it? All right. Oh, we got time. We're gonna wrap this up at 11:30, guys. Because I was late, so it was supposed to go from 8:30 to 10:30, but we'll wrap it up at 11:30 because I was late. Wasn't my fault. It was my camera's fault. So, for me, definitely a lot of Disney movies that I appreciate as an adult. I mean, Disney, that's kind of obvious for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of the Disney classic movies from the 80s when I was a kid, when I look at a lot of them, the 80s, like, they were all good. Little Mermaid is up there, Oliver and Company. But then again, Oliver and Company is just Oliver Twist with dogs and cats. I just recently did a video where I talked about, six movie Disney movies that I wouldn't mind live action versions of. And a lot of them, like Treasure Planet's up there. I love Treasure Planet. But when that Treasure Planet came, I was an adult. Like I was like late teen. Wait, yeah. Treasure Planet came out in 2000. Yeah, I was my late teens. But then you go back and watch them older classic Disney movies, like The Fox and the Hound. Oh my God! Like you can get a real good life lesson from that about friendship comes in all shapes and sizes, and no matter, you got a fox and a hound that were friends, and then society basically was like, hey, you got to be at your enemies. He's your enemy. You supposed, and at one point, yeah, there were some, there were like a little bit, but then at the end, I love, You know, I love when Chomper he's when his master was gonna shoot the Todd the fox. You know, he stepped in front of him and was like, "No, don't do it." And I love their exchange when they smile at each other, and it was like, you know, it's almost like saying, "I love you. I always love you." And I love that. It was Fox and the Hound will get me. That's a movie that will get me. And the music, that song, when you're the best of friends. Pinocchio will get, oh my god, that uh, classics will get me. Special Dumbo will get me. I'm not even joking. Everybody knows I cry on Dumbo. And no, I have not watched the Pinocchio on the latest one. I am gonna watch it. That's another movie that I hear people shitting on too. I'm like, I'm watch myself. Notable, the Winnie the Pooh movies. Winnie, well, I'm not sure about this horror movie of Winnie the Pooh, but the fact is, Winnie the Pooh now is public domain, so they can do you can do anything now with that character. Some of the character, not everybody. I think Eeyore is or Tigger. Tigger is not, but everybody else is public domain, and you know, it's just Winnie the Pooh. You know, Winnie the freaking Pooh is going to be uh interesting. Winnie the Pooh is going to be interesting because it's like it's Winnie the Pooh. Like I think of Winnie the Pooh, I think the lovable bear, and Christopher Robin. Yeah. Also getting again, I can get it's just no, yeah. Sandlot's up there too. Story, Christmas Story, yeah. Back to View, yeah, man. Like all those movies, Chandler definitely does have a lot of issues. That's why he's my favorite. He and Monica worked so well together. Maybe they grew up and yeah. And then they did the thing about people forget that there was a Friends spinoff. Joey got a spinoff series, and we got to see more of his sister, his oldest sister. Because remember, Joey got a lot of sisters. His oldest sister and his nephew. He went out to Hollywood and continued acting and things like that. Do you remember Pepsi Man? I think. What do you think? There's why do you think they're skipping Simon and other Belmonts going? Um, the reason why I think they skipped Simon, I I would say because uh there's only been one Belmont in the family that actually killed Dracula. I think it's the one that we got now. I think it's him. Uh, but I was a little shocked that they didn't go with Simon or someone else in from the Belmont family in Castlevania. I was a little like, whoa, like they skipped. I was like, wow, okay, that's interesting. But that's it's fine. But are you going to watch the Benicio del Toro movie next? Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check that out too. I've checked. It's like I watched Disney's live action version of Jungle Book, and then I watched Mr. Circuit's, which was more faithful to the novel. And I watched that. I thought it was good. I liked both. They both stood out on their own. The Disney Jungle Book. Once again, this is where people need to understand. Go read that novel by Kipling. It wasn't fun and games. Like it was dark. That was a dark book. You really get. That's why the Netflix one that Andy Serkis did, he that was more faithful to the novel. Disney's was good. Don't get me wrong. Disney's was great, especially the live action. I give that kid who played Mowgli in the Disney like a lot of because he was acting pretty much by himself. There was nobody on set with him, and I liked that. The voice talent was great, but yeah, I knew about the Joe. Yeah, I think I give it a. I think I kind of have to miss that one. Yeah, Hey, dude, Warhawk. Hey, you guys got 7 minutes now. So you get your questions. Have you ever watched Boy Meets World? Caroline, yes. I've watched all those 90s shows from TGI Friday, from all those shows. You name it, I watched it. I love Boy Meets World. What a great show. Mr. Mr. Feeney is the type of teacher I had and love. Great teacher. Besides, I knew the actor who plays Feeney as a kid of the 80s. He was the voice of Kit from Knight Rider. That's where I remember him from first. Um, do you remember the first teaser of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man to this day? Oh yeah, I remember that. That was spectacular. It was I didn't know what it was. I know we were in the movie theaters. We were watching, and it was like a robbery going, and I'm looking at, I'm like, what is this? And then, um, they get in a chopper, and all of a sudden, shoom, the chopper stops, and they like, what's going on? And they pan out, and all you see is a web, and it was like, and I was crazy. I remember all those teasers. I remember the teaser for the Ang Lee Hulk. I remember all those ones, and which I don't really care for too much, but I remember all those teasers. Those are great. Um, so Soraya Knight is all elite, and Candice LeRae returned to Raw. How excited are you? I knew she was coming back to Raw for Candice. I knew she wanted. I know they did, try to get Saray or Paige to come back. My question this Wednesday, we're going to see what it's all about, because to me, though she is with Elite, is she going to be wrestling? Because she has back issues. She's still, and I'm not sure if she cleared the wrestle, or is she going to be doing something else. Can she take a bump? All this stuff is going to be a question. Candice going to Raw, going to W, coming back to WWE was a no-brainer. Her husband's there. You think she's going to go wrestle somewhere else? No way. No way. I think Buddy Murphy is going to come back to WWE, because who is his girlfriend? Rhea Ripley. You, I just feel they're going to come back. How would you and the Simpsons? How would you end the Simpsons with a good finale? Uh, well, fun thing, grow up. I wish they would grow up, but I think personally, I think a good way of ending the Simpsons would be they move away from Springfield. They leave Springfield to and go somewhere else, because maybe Homer gets a big position, or Marge, something happens to Marge, or like I said, the kids grow up. You're like, come on, like that's how I look at it. So yeah. All right. Got 3 minutes now. Okay. What if Tarzan and Mowgli met? That'd be interesting. But Mowgli is in the jungles of India, not Africa. So it would be interesting to see Tarzan meet him. Have you talked about She-Hulk in a while? How I'm liking the series. I'm liking the series. I'm loving it. I'm just getting tired of everybody who so-called watch it, or just like, when is Daredevil coming? When is Daredevil coming? Like, watch the freaking show. Like, it's getting good. It's starting to, they're bringing in the intellect. Like, you know what that means? That's already tidbits that we could be seeing either the leader, or I feel like we might see the MCU version of Amadeus Cho. I am looking forward to seeing Daredevil too, but this is her show. I will say this. I'm still 50-50 on how they're doing Titania. I don't really like the way they're doing her too much, but it's not bad. But I wish she was more like the Titania from the comics, you know. But they are kind of keeping the fact that she says like, yeah, it's not fun fighting you when you're just Jen, because that's how it is in the comics. Like she's always like, no, I want to fight her. Like, give me you. I want She-Hulk. In the current comics now, I love that Jennifer even said like, look, if that's what it takes for you to kind of get some immense bit of happiness, you can come see me and we go spar somewhere, just you and me. And I like that stuff. But yeah, I am liking it. I don't talk about the series until the end of the series. Then I do my overview. I don't do that no more. All right. I will be right back, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. I had to pick up my food. Anyway, all right. So I think my phone is going off. You'll probably hear that. Anyway, let's wrap these questions up and we're gonna end this. Okay. So where was I at? I still remember the TV spot of Spider-Man 2. I do too. You remember Malcolm in the Middle? One of my favorite comedies. I remember it. I didn't watch it a lot though. Pepsi Man was a classic character. Yeah, I remember Pepsi Man. The 90s. I remember. Um, I also remember TV spots from Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith. After watching the new Quantum Leap, I know Scott Bakula made the post, but they left the door open perfectly. Do you agree? Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, first of all, the whole series, it's not once again, I keep telling you, it's not a reboot or a remake. It's continuing the story. It's continuing where the series left off. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but yeah, I have a feeling right now. Focus on Ben, and then you start getting to, and if he wants to come back, he wants to come back. The spinoff I hate the most still to this day is Daria. It really does hurt my feelings. Daria. I watched a few episodes of Daria, but I just like the opening. La 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 la. This is my life. Other side of that, I don't really never really watched Daria. You know, there were a lot of spinoffs of you know, a lot of spinoffs of Beavis and Butthead. They live in Springfield and go to Hollow, Massachusetts. Joke of the, yeah, that's pretty funny. Well, guys, I'm gonna end it here. For everybody who came out late, I apologize. Uh, but I always try to notify people when I'm gonna start. This stream was supposed to start at no, don't start on me that damn intro. How come there was no Baxter Building in the 2008 Spider-Man? Depending on, I think because at that point, I don't think Marvel had the rights to good night, Caroline. I don't think the Marvel had the rights to Fantastic Four at that time yet. I think I could be wrong, uh, but yeah, I don't think they had the rights. Anyway, like I said, guys, I'm gonna end this. We went. Oh, see, we went more than 2 hours. Now, once again, for everybody out there who missed the stream but still want to ask me questions, you can leave them in the link in the description down below, and I will answer them down there. You know, when this stream goes up, you know, they usually put there, so you can ask me questions there, and I will answer them. Don't forget, guys, I will be back soon. I do enjoy coming back. I have some things in the works. And yes, guys, I am proud of my patrons. Thank you very much. I'm working on a poll right now for my Patreon, one of my patrons, excuse me, my patron, Jimmy Gibson. I'm working on which video to do. I've just went back and looked at the post. About 20 something of you guys are up to 30 votes, and it's close. It's what video will I do next? My favorite, top 10 favorite, because he requested me to do 4 videos because he's a beta level patron, and one of them is top 10 favorite supernatural mystical Marvel characters, and the other one, 10 villains I still want to see in the MCU. And I think 10 villains in the MCU are work. I put it on 3 platforms: YouTube, it's on Patreon, and it's actually on Twitter. So, and I will tally up the votes this Saturday, I believe. And once whatever one comes out, that's the one I'm gonna do first. Then I'll do the others. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun doing that. One, I will definitely think about that, because I think that's a really cool idea to do. I was gonna do something for Latino Heritage Day as well, but then I'm like, what will I do? Because I don't think I think I need to do one. Maybe a list of. I think I did a list of my favorite Latino characters in comics, and so maybe I'll do it again. Maybe a top 25 or so. You know, it is Latino Heritage Month, so. But yeah, I will think about that. Outside of that, guys, thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time. Right now, I got a little late night snack to eat, and so I'm gonna go eat that right now. I'm hungry. No, I'm just messing with y'all. Anyway, y'all take care. Deuces.